What's up, everybody? I'm Jason Mayfield. In this video, we're going to compare the Crossway and Cambridge wide margin Bibles. So let's talk about the Bibles that I'm using right now. I've got the Cambridge ESV, goat skin, right here. Got the top grain leather Crossway ESV wide margin right here. These are not, in terms of quality of make, in the same category. This would probably need to be an heirloom to really compete with this. However, 'tis not. But I will tell you, on the heirloom that I have versus the Cambridge will win over the heirloom in terms of paper thickness and being able to write in it. I think if you write in an heirloom, there are people that do it. It just feels like that paper's too stinking thin. That's just me personally. I don't know. I love the heirloom. Got two of them, but I don't write in them. That's the caveat there. We're going to be talking about the internal layout in terms of how these things compare. The physical features, I think you kind of have to just touch them to really know. But I'll tell you, I think the Cambridge is going to win over the heirloom in terms of the thickness of the paper and the writability. But the heirloom or the top grain leather or the True Tone are all going to win in price. And there's such a range there that you can get in on different levels with this Bible. So in terms of layout, you're going to see more of a squarer page. It's not a square, but it's more square in the Cambridge. It's more rectangle in the Crossway wide margin, which is probably going to be a win in the pulpit. This thing is going to take up a lot of pulpit space. This one is going to take up a little less pulpit space, so this will be easier to keep open with notes. This one's going to be a little tougher to keep open with notes, so this one might end up just being shut and on your pulpit for posterity's sake. This one you can actually use in the service probably a little bit better. The readability, I think the Cambridge is probably a little bit more readable. The text is thicker, even though I like the font that Crossway uses better than the one that Cambridge uses. But I'll also say this: I don't think the wide margin is the best thing that Crossway's ever made. I don't think their wide margin is the feather in their cap in terms of products. So let's talk about some layout stuff here. If minimalism is really important to you, then the Crossway is probably going to be better because it doesn't have this massive column of cross references, even though it's got them on the page. One thing I will tell you, though, the way they do the cross references here gives you a little bit more space because you won't have the words to page ratio that you're going to have over here. Every page is going to be full of words. That is the text, which is what you're going to be taking notes on and making reference to. The less words on the page it has, the more notes you can take. So that's something that I consider when looking at different Bibles. That's one of the reasons they haven't made the perfect Bible. I'll tell you what the perfect Bible is in a moment. However, if minimalism is not a big deal, and honestly, it can actually help, this center column does break up the text a little bit. Also, in terms of layout, the inner and outer margin in the Crossway are the same, but you don't get much at the top or the bottom. But the inner and the outer are both the same width. In the Cambridge, the outer margin is much thicker than the inner margin. Personally, I want to try to stay away from the inner margin if at all possible, because the outer margin is just so much easier to write in. You also get the redemptive piece of the top and the bottom. So the top and the bottom in the Cambridge are going to be places that you can take notes as well, where over here, you just, for the most part, you're going to lose that. One thing that the Cambridge does that is one of my least favorite things that they do is they will start a new book at the end of the old one on the same page. Whereas Crossway, kind of as a general rule, I think this is pretty much the same way in all of their Bibles, they will give you all of this page as a blank once it's finished, and then it starts a new epistle on a new page. Now, it doesn't always equal having a bunch of writing space there at the bottom. Some of them, I mean, you see that Hebrews takes up more room, but there are going to be places where you get these spaces. I really like that. You could use that for 100,000 different things. You lose that over in the Cambridge. So you get a little bit of redeemed space over here. Even though, as most of you know, I am a very, very, very big Crossway fanboy. I love the products that they make. I will tell you, there is an intangible quality that I can't put my finger on with the Cambridge that makes it really, really special. There's something really, really special about it. That being said, I can't explain it, so I'm not going to try, but there's something about the Cambridge, man, that's just very, very special. Now, if you were to get an heirloom or the top grain leather, you're going to have raised hubs, ridges. No ridges on the Cambridge. That is a mark against it. I wish it had ridges. Now, this is something that you're probably going to think is totally stupid. This is just me. I kind of hate the fact that it has Holy Bible right there. I wish this cover had nothing on it. It was just clear, like this one, like every other Bible that I have. I don't think I have any other Bible that has Holy Bible written on the front of it except for this other Cambridge. I just don't like it. I don't mind everything here. I just wish this was clear with nothing on it. It just feels, I think it just feels old to me and unnecessary. So when it comes down to the two, you've got to take those things that I just shared with you and make a decision for yourself. I personally lean towards the Cambridge in terms of these two Bibles. I lean towards the Cambridge in terms of all writing Bibles, just because I haven't seen anything that I particularly love. Everything else falls short. Now, I told you that I was going to tell you what the perfect Bible would be, but I have changed my mind because I think that's going to be better to do in a video by itself, because it is a really, really good concept, and there might be some more details that I want to share with you guys when we get there. That being said, those are your options. Hopefully that'll help you pick one out. I'll drop links in the description below to both of these. When you use those links in the description, by the way, it helps us, helps me, and but it's at no additional cost to you. So it's just a little way to help out. So I appreciate when you use those links. So that's it. If you like this video, like videos like it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, click the bell so you get notified anytime that I post a new video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!